I'm playing Romeo.
I'm playing Lady Capulet, or Mrs. Capulet in this version.
I'm playing Neve and also the Chief Inspector Officer. Is that right? What's my official title?
I'll be playing Mercutio and Prime Minister Montague.
I'm the Ambassador Capulet.
My rival.
And I'll be playing Benvolio.
And I'm playing Tybalt. I've got it. So I'm playing Tybalt, the apothecary, and the intern.
Well, the idea was there was an actual method behind it, and we'd be working within the same realm of possibilities with this method in the rehearsal room. It was really quite interesting, and I've always been drawn to Meissner. I have always wanted to do it, and just the fact that you can get out of your head and focusing on just repeating, and then kind of working on everything that's beneath the text.
The story, the adaptation is really relevant to what's happening at the moment, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about in theatre. This idea of people putting themselves in boxes and not really wanting to cross, or allowing people to cross into places. And also the Gonsalves method, absolutely.
I was drawn to the project, having worked with Aileen a little bit before, having gotten to experience a little bit of her method, having a taster. I was quite excited to get the full-fledged experience and really dive into all the different ways of approaching life and approaching different circumstances that you don't usually in normal life get to depict and get to pick apart like this. But it's fun.
I'd worked with Roxanne before, so I knew that she was a very credible and reliable person to work with. I also really was keen to do a Shakespeare, and the base of it being Meissner drew me to it. I've done a bit of Meissner before, but the kind of methods that Aileen uses was really interesting. It's something I'd never tried before. It was something very new, but it was really exciting because it was a whole new method, a whole new way of acting, a different process that I wasn't used to.
The fact that it was bilingual, and I liked the concept behind the story. I thought it was interesting to set it in a Brexit time sort of thing. And also I think the fact that there was a totally new cast, because I worked with Aileen quite a bit, but to have a totally new group of people that haven't really worked under these circumstances. And it's been really interesting to see how well everyone adapts and how quickly you can adapt and easily you can adapt to this. And even with some of the restrictions that we've had, the fact that you weren't there for the first week, but you were able to follow, and it's assimilated into the rehearsal so easily.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
I agree. No, the director definitely. The Meissner approach, I was really intrigued because I just graduated from drama school and my training was heavily based on Meissner, so I was intrigued. And also because it's a French and English production and I've never done that before.
Yeah.
So I was like, why not?
Me neither. Never done a bilingual show, so that was really exciting.
Yeah.
Not that I can speak French.
I just jumped at the chance to get back on stage, jump into a play, and such a hefty one as this is exciting, really exciting.
Good to be back.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just the idea of being on a stage, not now. Obviously, we are on a stage already, but we'll be in front of an audience is incredible. It seems unbelievable. But yeah, in the rehearsal room, it's great. There's a lot of whispering.
Lots of life.
It's just nice to have lots of different people that come from all over the world. I mean, it's always nice to have that, different walks of life. But yeah, it's challenging. But then that's really where the sort of technique comes in, is that you can create a play out of a million different languages, and as long as you know relationships, as long as you understand your objectives, it shouldn't really matter what language you're speaking. So that's kind of the way it's gone. But it's been a really fun process.
Yeah, the whispering, because obviously people can't know what each person is wanting to do in the scene. So
it's quite tentative at the start as well. I was quite nervous coming in with a brand bunch of group of people I've not worked with before, most of whom I've not met before.
Everyone gelled really well.
Everyone
came together very
quickly,
easily.
yeah.
I think it's lovely. I mean, I only speak English myself, but I think I like hearing other languages is so lovely, and as well as watching other actors, like French actors, we've got act completely in French as an English person, like just seeing how the method works and like how I can understand like the actual scenes and what's going on. It's just, I love the language anyway. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, in the room it's really like those people are very nice.
Yeah.
And, like all get on with each other, which is lovely. And two languages is interesting. So because obviously I'm French, so having French and English acting in both within the same play is quite nice and a challenge as well.
I think the method's amazing as well, and it lends itself really well to a bilingual production, just in terms of getting down to the essence of what's going on in a scene and realising, I know we talk about a lot about that in the technique, but how much of the story you're telling with your body, and how little in fact, obviously the words count, but there's so much else that we take in from people communicating. And so there are going to be surtitles in this, but actually one wonders if it's even necessary because we're understanding so much, even though there are people in the room that don't understand both languages. You said, how is it in a rehearsal room? It feels like there's times of kind of quiet. There's lots of whispering and secrets going on because there's things that actors don't know about the other actor, because you work out a whole set of things that's actually a surprise to the person opposite you. And it would be really boring if they knew what your secret was inside, because actually you're getting conflict and friction all the time through these conditions that we're working through, which I think is really, really exciting. So it might be really quiet and whispery, and then suddenly we'll go into kind of an exercise that won't necessarily use the Shakespearean text, but we'll be exploring the story or the conditions that we've just worked out, and then that will be super intense, and then it will go back to a bit of whispering again. That's how I describe it.
Any gossip?
That we could say on
Any
camera.
gossip?
We must have a few.
You'll have to come and see.
People apparently understood when I did a Meisner in French. I don't know if it's a fun fact.
That's a very fun
It's a
fact.
fact. It's a fact. People were like, the language doesn't matter, we understood.
It's true. Yeah.
It was my fact. What's your fact?
We've been doing a lot of activities today, and like how we paraphrase, but like you find out so much about yourself through this technique as well, and you make everything so relevant. So you said, like, are there any secrets in the room? No, but when people start to paraphrase, it's like, oh, that's how you put this into your own words, and that's really fun. I think that everyone says or thinks about things in a different way. So the idea of perspective, and I know Aileen talks a lot about individuality and coming to the room with your own experience, and everything that you are is a summum of your experience up until now.
Yeah, and I think for me, like spending so much time, like we all have in lockdown, like this work is so, it's been kind of black and white for me. I've been like in my room, like on my own for such a long time, and this work is about looking at other people and like sharing the eye contact and sharing the communication. So I've really gone extremely to the other side of communication. And really, truly, it's just been lovely for me to be able to like connect to people again, and in such a way that, you know, you communicate so much lovely things. So yeah, I've really taken away kind of like it. Being back in this place helped me kind of open back up to the world again, definitely.